What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick. Huge shout out and thank you to Randy Marion Ford for providing this new Maverick for today's video. Check them out, I'll have their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of the new Ford lineup, and they're just getting in the new Mavericks. And the model that we're looking at today is an XL all-wheel drive with the Equipment Group 108 package. It is finished off in Velocity Blue Metallic and has an MSRP at $24,900. Underneath the hood, this Maverick utilizes the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine. It pumps out 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and this particular vehicle is paired to the all-wheel drive system. The curb weight is around 3,600 pounds and even can do 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds. And with a 16.5 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 22 miles per gallon in the city with 29 out on the highway. The overall length is 199.7 inches with wheelbase at 121.1. Width is 72.6 and height is 68.7 inches. Minimum ground clearance is 8.6 inches, and this new Maverick can even tow up to 4,000 pounds, and it has 1,500 pounds of payload capacity. If we take a look at the exterior styling with the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick, this truck is smaller than the current Ford Ranger. If we look up front now, this has a really nice design. It even looks like a mini F-150. You can see the Ford logo right in the center with a lot of openings to allow cooling to hit the radiators as well as the intercooler. You can see a really cool mesh design in the upper and lower grille. And then you can see how the trim piece around the Ford logo extends its way all the way into the headlights. I love how the turn signals are located inside that trim piece. And then you can see the chrome housings of the headlights. They have halogen bulbs and have a nice 3-square design in the lower portion. You can also see how there's a nice clean line running through this front bumper, and then some of this black trim in the lower portion. The hood flows its way on top of the grille and has some really bold lines in the top portion that mimic what you see in the larger trucks. I also like the sharp line on the top portion of these front fenders. It gives the new Maverick an aggressive design. And then moving to the side profile, this XL features a set of steel wheels finished off in a painted silver. They actually look pretty cool against the blue paintwork. You can also see around these front fenders a nice sharp body line. To add a little bit more character, you get your XL badge in the front portion of this fender and a nice sharp line going through this front fender that fades into the doors. Along the doors, you'll see another body line that cuts below the side mirrors and then makes its way back on top, adding a little bit of depth to the side profile. We do get black plastic door handles and mirror caps, and then all black trim around the windows. The Maverick is a unibody construction, unlike a body-on-frame pickup truck, and you can tell how the bedside flows seamlessly into this overall side profile. I do like how the blue goes all the way around the windows and fades its way into this bedside. The overall side profile does look very proportional. You can tell it's a shorter and smaller vehicle than what we're used to seeing from Ford, but overall it does come together very well with good proportions. There's more black trim in the lower side skirt, and then you can see how the rear bumper wraps around into the side. Along the top of the bed, you can see more of this plastic trim that makes its way up towards this rear window. It looks pretty cool, and it's a good area to step on rather than stepping on paint. You can see the huge rear window here with the third brake light above that, as well as a shark fin antenna. And then moving our way to the back, you get a nice design for these rear taillights with silver and red housings. And then in the rear, you get Maverick stamped into the back portion of the tailgate, the Ford logo in the center with your standard backup camera, get the all-wheel drive badge over on the right, and then your release handle up top. I really like the sharp lines in the tailgate. It looks a lot like an F-150. And then you can see the rear bumper finished off in the black plastic with an area where you could put a trailer hitch. So there's a good look at the exterior and some of the specifications for the all-new 2022 Ford Maverick. This is a pretty good looking truck actually. It's very compact and I like the blue, and actually the steel wheels look kind of cool. So we have Ford's key fob, you got Ford logo, and then just the 2 buttons. I can go ahead and lock it. You can hear a beep, and then just tapping the button to unlock it. All you have to do is grab the door handle and we can check out this interior. This Maverick has a black interior with a lot of really cool colors and textures all around. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, the armrest is finished off in black fabric with a little bit of padding. The rest of it actually looks like a dark blue and light blue. You can see the release handle right here finished off in black, as well as the lock and unlock. We have all 4 of your window controls, and then a really cool 3-dimensional grab handle right here with the water bottle area, and then a little bit of storage and part of the speaker system. I like the little bit of contours you get in here. Moving our way inside, we have fabric along the seats with manual controls. We get some contrast stitching, a really cool design up front, and then just smooth fabric everywhere else, finished off in the black. You get the same design up top, and then making our way to the headrest, finished off in black. The steering wheel is finished off in black rubber, and we get a little bit of silver accents. And then now inside the Maverick, taking the key fob and flipping the metal key out, we can go ahead and insert that into the ignition and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have your analog speedometer over on the right, fuel level and engine temperature in the center, and then the tach on the left. There is a center digital screen that you can actually control with the controls on the right side of the steering wheel. We have a digital readout for your speed. I can scroll down and see audio settings. You can have your phone pop up, as well as other settings. You can continue down to some of your trip information and then back to the same view. We have another icon right here. If I go ahead and tap that, it comes up with a few more settings within each screen. So if I tap this one, it changes the background just a little bit, which is kind of cool to see. The steering wheel has more of the audio controls on the left, turn signal stalk and high beams on the left stalk, and then all the wiper blades over on the right. To the left of the steering wheel now, we have all of your headlight controls as well as the interior dimming, one of the air vents, and you can see that same really cool texture that we saw up on these doors that is all along the dashboard. It almost looks like a denim. You get a little bit of cubby spot right here, and it goes all the way across. You get a really cool material over here with that same shape that you saw in the door panel. Really cool and sporty looking in here for sure. We have the navigation screen right in the center. There's a little cubby over here. Higher trim levels will have a massive screen here, but using this sync information, we have audio, you have your phone, and then you have apps that'll pop up as well, and then different settings. You can see everything that comes up. So you have a few different items in this screen without having the full system. Put my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and use the dial, put us into reverse. You get a pretty good backup camera. You have nice guidelines as well that change when you turn the steering wheel, and then rotating this back into park. Beneath the screen, we have some of the shortcuts for all of the radio controls, volume on the left, tuning on the right, hazards up top. 2 more air vents in the center with all the climate controls, very simply laid out. Fan speed over on the left, I like the LEDs. Then you get your temperature over on this right side. Beneath that, we have some USB ports as well as 12-volt outlet, and then quite a lot of storage down below. Higher trims will have wireless charging, but this is a good area to place your phone, and it's finished off in a rubber texture. You have a really cool material up top here with your rotary dial for all the different drives, as well as a low range for the gearbox, electronic parking brake, some cubby spots, as well as 2 cup holders. Then down here we have different drive modes. If we tap this icon right here, this is for your traction control to turn on and off. And then the one over here, if we tap this button, it comes up with your different drive modes. We have a normal mode. You can also go into a tow and haul mode. We have the slippery, an eco mode, and then a sport mode. Really cool to see even on the base model vehicle. There's a little bit of storage in front of the armrest, and then more of this blue color for the armrest that's finished off in a nice vinyl leather material. Opening this, we have a pretty good amount of space in here. And then taking a look at the glove box, finished in that bluish color. You can see a pretty big cubby here as well. And then one last look at the interior. Really sporty in here. I do like the overall layout. I think the fit and finish is pretty good as well, and especially for the entry-level price. And then to take a look at the rear seat space, I can open up the rear door. The door panel's finished off just like we saw up front with all of the cool colors and this nice little texture. Same grab handle as well. The rear seats are finished in the same fabric with the 2-tone. This is a 3-seat bench seat back here. And then the few amenities we get a little 12-volt right here and a tiny storage pocket. And then as far as extra storage in the vehicle, there's a strap right here I can pull and lift open the seat. It'll lock into place, and it reveals a really large cubby down here. You can see just how much space we have going all the way through to the other side. So definitely pretty practical back here. All right, so now sitting in the back of this Maverick, like I said, this is smaller than a Ford Ranger. Honestly, this is way more roomy than I expected. I'm 5'11". I have like 4 or 5 inches of headroom, and I even have the driver's seat set at my height. And as you can see, I have plenty of knee room, and my feet have a lot of space underneath the seat. The armrest is a little small, but still in a pretty good place. And you have quite a lot of glass back here to where it doesn't feel tight at all. Not bad at all for such a small truck. And then finishing it up, taking a look at the bed space, we do have a lock back here, I can open it up. We do have a painted bed in here. This is a 4.5 foot long bed. However, the tailgate is pretty long as well since the sides are pretty tall. So it's a lot smaller, of course, than a Ranger, but I think you could probably fit a rider lawnmower, maybe 2 dirt bikes in here as well. There's tie-down hooks in each of the 4 corners, as well as a cutout to place a 2x4 in front of these fender liners to help customize the interior storage. And then going ahead and grabbing this, it doesn't weigh much, and we can lock it closed. All right, guys, we are setting off now in the 2022 Ford Maverick. So this one's an interesting trim level. It's more of a base model. However, we have the more powerful engine. There is a hybrid version that actually has a larger engine, but it makes a lot less power. And then you can get a CVT transmission. The 8-speed is, of course, in my opinion, a better way to go, especially just to have more freedom with the gears. First initial impressions, I actually am pretty impressed with what this truck has to offer. It feels really comfortable in here, and it doesn't feel like just a tiny little truck. I like how the hood is actually pretty large. I love these lines on it. It looks like it's an F-150 hood, just shrunken a little bit. So I think they took some cool cues from their bigger trucks and put it into their small new truck. And then you have a huge windshield as well, so you have a really good view out the front, and it's pretty squared off feeling, so it does feel a little bit bigger. Big side windows as well, really good visibility over my left and right shoulder, and I actually just noticed there's actually rear speakers up in that C-pillar. So I feel like they did a good job just using the interior space. As far as comfort, the seats are pretty comfortable. I can get them in a good position, and the padding in them is really nice as well. Armrests are in a great place. Not a bad little truck, especially for less than $25,000. As far as the interior technology, not really too much in a base model like this one, but at least you do have a screen with a backup camera and a few things in the center. The use of materials I think are pretty cool. Again, it's an entry-level vehicle, entry-level price point. I like this like denim-looking plastic. It just looks pretty neat. And then as far as the power plant with all-wheel drive, I'll give it some gas. Honestly, that's up to 50. That's actually pretty quick. It doesn't weigh that much, and with a 2-liter turbo, I mean, honestly, that's a pretty peppy engine, especially for something that is a smaller truck like this. That's actually surprising, wow. And you can also even get this in front-wheel drive if you don't need the all-wheel drive capability. But it is cool with this truck, you do have the all-wheel drive capability to where you can take this on some trails, and I think this truck is targeting people who they probably don't need to tow the most weight or have the biggest thing like 2 big old Harleys in the bed of the truck. But this is going to be a good truck for someone who might need smaller footprint of a vehicle, but still wants to be able to do truck things. Like, this is quick. Wow, this is actually a quick vehicle. That's insane. But like I was saying, with the bed space and things, if you own a little shop, maybe like a flower shop, and you have to haul stuff like that you don't want to put inside your SUV or car, this is the kind of truck for you. This is the truck that you're going to be hauling the things that are just too awkward to put inside your car, but you don't need the full-size truck space. So not bad at all. As far as turning radius, we have the dial shifter. I like the dial. I think it's pretty easy to use. Backup camera works really well. Super easy to do the shifter. We'll do another little acceleration. And I'm sure it's a front-wheel drive bias system, but there's no torque steer or anything like that. As far as the handling and road noise and things like that, it actually feels really solid. The suspension is absorbing these bumps really well. The ride quality is really smooth. I wasn't expecting this to actually feel like a nice solid truck. When you take turns, there's not too much body roll. I think because it doesn't weigh that much and it's not that tall off the ground, there's really not much of that body roll. So we're going 50, I'm accelerating. Pretty composed feeling, I will say. That is pretty cool. All right, into the POV view now to see what it's like driving the new Maverick with the first person point of view. Not a bad little truck. Definitely feels pretty solid and kind of snappy around town. Maybe you don't have a farm or crazy land or even a huge garage. You need something that can fit in a small parking space. This is the truck to get, because on the inside it feels kind of like maybe an Escape or maybe a Ford Bronco Sport. It really does kind of give me that Bronco Sport vibe in here. It's pretty much that vehicle, but then you have that usability of the exterior bed like in a normal pickup truck. So you're kind of getting a good blend between the two vehicles, I'd say. This is kind of a mix. If a Ranger and a Bronco Sport had a baby, it's pretty much going to be a Maverick. And I think Ford did a good job just giving you a nice entry-level truck, not a crazy off-roader or tower or hauler, but nonetheless not too bad to cruise in. And you do have a lot of nice little hidden storage areas. Brakes do a good job too. One last acceleration. The 8-speed is pretty responsive. It seems to shift. It's not the sharpest transmission ever, but again, it's not a sports car, but it seems pretty snappy for what it is. As far as any complaints or downsides, I mean, if you're looking for obviously something that can tow or go off-road like crazy, this is not exactly gonna be your kind of vehicle. This might be a little bit too entry level. And then there is a lot of plastic in the interior. Every single thing you touch in here is plastic, but it's actually not bad. It feels pretty cool. I mean, it's a little hard on the dashboard, but it does look pretty good, I would say. So overall, not a bad little truck at all. I think that's about it then, driving in the all-new Ford Maverick. Comment below, what do you guys think of a car that starts off front-wheel drive? You can get a hybrid in this, so it's a lot different than your normal truck that we're used to seeing, but I think it is gonna serve a pretty good market segment out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Once again, huge shout out and thank you to Randy Marion Ford for providing this new 2022 Ford Maverick for today's video. Check them out, I'll have their website linked down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.